We are this close to the end. I mean, this close. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, child. Whoo! What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach. We are reviewing Married at First Sight, season number 12, episode number 15, retreat ready. Like, they ready to go on this retreat and enjoy each other's company. You know what I'm saying? So this week, I won't be going couple by couple. I will be going scene by scene because they are all together. They're all together. Y'all know what that's from? Pippi Longstocking. Used to be my very favorite show to watch. The OG Pippi Longstocking. Well, the first couple we see, they start us off right. Okay, Haley and Jacob, honey. And Haley is like, here go your funky bracelet. Pretty much, my mother overnighted your bracelet. Here it is. Here you go. Take it back. Okay, but the thing that got me was the fact that she said I should that she wouldn't have worn it anyway. Like, you know, like, it's not your style, it's not your speed. Again, so that makes me wonder, why would you give it to your mother to keep? Was she giving it to her mother? That's the question that I really want to ask. Did any of y'all ever answer that? Was she giving it to her mother? Because I just don't understand it, still can't see it. Anyway, they're in such a bad space that they are driving in separate cars 5 hours away to the Hilton Head house resort, wherever they going. Like, it's that bad? Y'all can't stay in a car for 5 hours? I guess, you know, she said they had just had a big argument or something, but I thought this is too much. We briefly see Bree and Vince next, and you know, they're in the bed, and Vince just kind of in his diary cam says, you know, I know this is new and I want to work it out. Well, Virginia and Eric show up. They're, of course, driving together. They're together no matter how horrible their relationship is, no matter how much turmoil they are having, they are together. So Virginia, while in the car ride, says, you know, I think we're going to kill each other. You know, there are constant ups and downs in their relationship. And then Eric shares, you know what, I don't like when you like get on me when the cameras are around. I don't do that to you, and I wish you wouldn't do that to me. I'm just like, I look at them, I wrote down, he's like a baby, constantly having a fit, throwing a temper tantrum, and so is she. Like, I just, they exhaust me. Well, Jacob is the very first one to arrive at the house, honey, and he goes straight for the eggs, honey. He's hungry. He decides, I'm gonna fry me up some eggs. I'm gonna eat me some eggs. The end, okay? And I'm hungry. I've been driving for 5 hours. All I eat is steak and eggs. I probably didn't have nothing but water with me. I'm hungry. I'm making me something. Well, Haley arrives, honey, and she's all like, you're eating? I told you that we were cooking tonight for everybody. I told you that. And how many eggs are you eating? Bruh, 8 eggs? That's more than half a dozen, half a carton. 8 eggs in one sitting? You got high cholesterol? Because that's a lot of eggs to be eaten in one sitting. Virginia and Eric, they arrive next. Haley tells her drinking buddy, yeah, go to the room next to mine and we could go out to the, you know, on the patio because they're connected and we can talk and kiki or whatever. I was like, Lord help us. When Bree and Vincent arrives, Haley decides to share. I did all this cooking alone. When I got here, he was eating already. I was like, she is super petty. Like, I'm going to share everything with them and not take out, you know, talk about my issues with him. She shares with them, I feel like this is how it's been. Like, I've been the one doing everything, asking the questions, showing up. And this is just like pretty much indicative of what our relationship really looks like. They're all sitting at the table, I guess, about to eat whatever she cooked, which looked like it might have been some kind of spaghetti maybe, because I did see tomato sauce. Nevertheless, Vincent is like, you know what, I'm gaining weight. And Haley's all like, it's happy weight. You know, when you're happy, you start to gain weight. Jacob is on the other side, honey, rolling his eyes. Like, he is outdone, through, finished. Like, I'm over all of this. And these jabs you taking at me. Virginia asks, what have you learned thus far? You know, it seems like that's the question. That must be a producer question because they ask it every year. But here's what they said. Bree says she learned some patience. Okay, there's some stuff she didn't have before, but she's working on it and she's learning patience. Vince says that he's an introvert and he has learned to dig deep to come up out of himself, to do things differently. And I can see him being an introvert considering how he never wants to do anything. Jacob says, I'm not sure what I learned. Like, this whole situation has been chaotic. I don't know what I've learned. Like, Haley does not like it, and she's all like, well, not externally. You can look at what you've learned personally, what's happened, what's changed for you. And I literally wrote down, you can't tell him how to feel and what to say. I mean, he's probably saying something that none of us agree with, like he should have some kind of answer, but it is not her place to tell him what to feel or think. That's not your place. Haley then begins to share that she's had personal growth and has learned how to communicate. And I'm saying no to all of that because I don't see any of that. What she should be learning is that she's selfish and she's a mean girl and she is self-centered and dismissive. And how do we fix? Oh, Lord have mercy. Jacob said, I feel like I have been on the longest first date ever. Like, listen, Jacob comes for her. Like, literally meets that energy. Like, they are petty together, jab, 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 and neither person is knowing how to sit back and hear what the other one is saying. So this relationship, we knew, has been doomed since Vegas. So they just going through the motions right now. Like, you see them sleeping in separate rooms still, even after Dr. Viviana urged them to sleep together. Then Haley says 95% of this whole situation has been a challenge. So petty is Jacob with the, I would say 97%. Like, they go back and forth at that table in front of everybody, and I'm totally uncomfortable and awkward, feeling awkward for them. Like, this isn't the place or time to have this in front of these people. I get that you guys are all like in this together. We're all like, I get that, right? But no, like, this is like embarrassing. He told her that she was faking. She said that she was trying and that it was uncomfortable. It really wasn't her. So, and the reason he said it was 97% because 3% was before Vegas, before they laid down as we lay. Like, yeah, they didn't forget about their problems because it wasn't what she was hoping it would be. He said that it's too heavy in the quotation. Like, I just was like, Mr. and Mrs. Petty, they should get the award. That's how I was feeling. Virginia then shares, you know what, I love Eric, but I don't like him. Sometimes I don't like him. And, you know, I don't know. I know in my household, my mother would be like, I don't like you, but I love you. I don't like you, but I love you. Now, my thing about that is, you ain't known him a full 2 months yet, and you talking about you don't like him? It takes a minute for you to figure out things that you don't like about somebody. You guys should still be having new relationship energy and trying to figure one another out. But you already like, I love him, but I don't like him. Honey, you don't like him and you don't love him. Like, right now, you just doing some stuff because you thought you wanted to be married. But now that you've gotten married, you realize this isn't what you want. This isn't what you want. Eric says, I have to be so patient with this one here. Like, I was like, ooh. He was like, you know, I'm just trying to figure out, how do I become her #1 person? Like, how do I get in front of all of her friends, in front of Rocky, in front of her family? How do I get that #1 spot? You know, though I don't like Eric and I don't like Virginia, in that moment, I felt sorry for him. Like, he's really vying for her attention. And she's like, I don't care. I don't really like you. The couples play a game called Mathsology, which is M-A-F as in Frank S-ology, Married at First Sight-ology. And it's how well do you know your partner? And they got, you know, like a little point system set up, etc. But they got, you know, each couple is a set of teams. You got team The Lake Show, Eric and Virginia, team Los Tigres, Brianna and Vincent, and team Harambe, which is Haley and Jacob. Harambe, do you remember the Harambe, the gorilla? That's where that's from. What we see is that the two of them know each other a lot better than probably anybody else, because they've been sitting and playing 21 questions all the time. So they win the trophy. Jacob and Haley, who was just fighting at the table, who can't stand one another's guts, actually have learned a lot about one another, you know, details about their youth and whatnot. No, they won. Okay? I'm shocked. You shocked? Not really. There was another couple that was like that knew a lot about one another but couldn't stand each other. And like I said, they at the apartment in separate rooms, they on the retreat in separate rooms, okay? So then we see Bree and Vincent and they're in the bed, and she says, you know what, I'm excited about horseback riding. Shocked the shit out of Vincent, because Vincent did not agree to that. Vincent does not like large animals. Vincent does not want to go horseback riding. And you can see he's visibly irritated. You can see she's visibly irritated because she wants a husband that she can go on adventures with. And he's like, why wouldn't you tell me first? Like, don't be just springing this upon me. We already know how uncomfortable he gets when he can't do something. And so now you talk about something that he's low-key afraid of and he can't do it, he's not good at. It's a disaster, a recipe for disaster. Brianna had done the thing that she does. She takes control. She made a reservation for an experience for them. And, you know, she apologizes, which is good, for not considering him and asking and checking with him first. She was trying to do something nice and a surprise. But honestly, she knows him well enough that he probably don't want to do a lot of shit. So she probably should have asked to begin with. He said he gonna give it a shot anyway. But I'm really glad that he said that he was uncomfortable, that he vocalized that this is something that he did not want to do, that he's, you know, low-key afraid of. And so I'm actually glad that he did that, because that shows that he's learning to open up. Like, I don't know what I don't know, but she needs to learn to start thinking about, well, thinking about what I know about him now and his machismo attitude and wanting to be able to do everything. Is this something that I should be just scheduling for him, to include him? We see Clara and Ryan, who are arriving a day late because Clara had to work. I wrote down, because she said in her diary cam that she wants him to say that I am in love with you before decision day in order for her to say yes. No, you don't, girl, because you already moving your stuff into his home. So you've already decided that it's a yes for you. And then I also think that it's unrealistic for you to actually want someone to say that they love you or that they are in love with you in an 8-week period. Because really what it is lust, okay? It's lust, and you getting to know somebody. And like I said, I don't know, a couple of episodes ago, love has varying degrees. I can love you for a lot of reasons. Being in love with you is something entirely different. Girl, you don't even know him 8 weeks yet and you in love? It's a no for me. It's a no. It's a no. I'm very cautious with that, because I can love you. I can say I love you all day long, which I do. I can love you with the love of God. I can love you because you do nice things for me. But she getting carried away. So when they get there and Haley shows the room, and I don't know which one of them it was, but we get the naughty nautical room. I believe that was not Haley. Clara, and Ryan says it's his favorite, and she just chuckles, and I'm all like, y'all ain't even really, are y'all doing penetration now? Have y'all crossed the line? Have y'all done that yet, or is it still a one-sided situation? Because I would not have been happy with him chuckling, talking about it's his favorite. It's your favorite. So Virginia hangs around to talk to her homegirl Clara a little bit, and she tells Clara that Eric slept in his fully clothed last night. You know, and Clara's like, are y'all all right? You know, she said, yeah, we gonna be fine. I'm all like, if he slept with his clothes on, he might as well have slept outside, because he slept with his clothes on top of the cover when y'all supposed to be the ones that's so in love and got all this great chemistry, which I do not see. And I know y'all say y'all see it, but I don't see it. I don't know why I wrote this down, but we hear Brianna say how she's wanted to run and she's has to stop being so Brianna-like, meaning controlling and bossy, etc. Oh, I think it's them together, like in the kitchen, maybe. I'm not sure where they are. I didn't write that down. But Clara says, you know, people keep asking her if she's losing herself. And, you know, is she losing herself? Does she feel like that? And, you know, she's all like, people have to realize that it's our relationship, and I'm okay. I'm okay with us taking it slow. So this week you okay with it? Because last week you wasn't. He must have finally reciprocated or something. Because I'm not understanding how all of a sudden you now okay with y'all going slow. Because now what she's saying is no longer about him reciprocating, but about him saying, I am in love with you. So I'm wondering if something has happened. He blew on her or something. Something to ease her grinding on her. They dry hump. They had to do something in order for her to like be like, I'm okay with going slow. To the girls, she just has said she's always doing everything but penetration. Anyway, so Haley and Haley and Jacob, they go crabbing. Look like they have a good time. They catch some crabs that they're later gonna eat for dinner. Virginia and Eric just go have a dull ass picnic on the beach. And you know, they start talking about decision day. And I guess Virginia's been using the word D-Day. And he's all like, I don't like that. You know, that's not a positive thing. It's like D-Day is doomsday. I wrote down they have a bit of a disconnect. So Virginia says, if today was decision day, what would you say? And they go back and forth in circles about what they would say or what they would think. And I'm just all like, y'all exhausted me so much so that I don't even care what y'all saying. Y'all just going back and forth. Like, because I thought y'all was saying yes. I thought y'all had that agreement already that y'all was saying yes. I guess that's a no. She tells him, she shared with him that there are times that she wanted to run. Like, we know that. He knows that. He's been wanting to run. He tells her that he feels like when they argue, she acts like he doesn't care, like she doesn't care, and he always feels like she's gonna run, so that they're not getting anywhere. Somewhere along in here, I don't know if it was before or later, or she was talking to somebody else, but what was said was, before they started really addressing the issues and just pushing them to the side, things were fine. And now that they are, it's probably a little later, but now that they are actually having these conversations, they're not finding a happy medium. We see Ryan and Clara paddleboarding. Paddleboarding takes a lot of work. I want to do it, but your core strength has to be strong. We're over on the other side of the beach somewhere. Brianna and Vincent are horseback riding, are about to go horseback riding, and Vincent is visibly nervous, antsy, anxious. And listen, animals can feel all that energy. You know, he shares that he doesn't want to do it, he's not ready, and then the instructor is, you know, kind of coaxing him to do it and try it, and just for a little bit, ride for a minute, let's try it. And he got up there and he did it. He should have felt hella accomplished though. He tried something outside the box, outside of his comfort zone, which speaks volumes. Like, you know, I don't want to do this. It's going to take a lot for me to do this. I'm complaining about it, but I love you, Brianna, so I'm going to go on and let it keep saying, I'm going to go ahead and try it. But I get what he's saying. Horses can be dangerous. Fall off, break your spine, bust your hair. Y'all remember Christopher Reeves, the original Superman? Remember, y'all probably too young. A lot of y'all probably too young to remember him falling off that horse. And that ended his whole everything. He was a paraplegic in that chair. Later, as they sit on the beach and they have a conversation, you know, I don't know what it is about these ladies that when they start talking to these men and they want to have, like, get them to do something for them or ask a question, they go into this fucking, like, baby voice. Do you think that you would do it again? Like, what? I hate it. I hate it. Like, that is not a way to manipulate him into doing something. Listen, yes, we do have our womanly wiles. Yes, we are able to do a lot of things, but that voice, they all do it. They all do it. You know, he says, listen, I need to be more involved. You have to tell me. You can't just spring this stuff up on me. I know that this is what you want to do, you know, because she wants someone adventurous and everything, but you got to let me be involved. She wants an adventurous husband. And as I'm watching them, I said to myself, all those questions that they ask, all that stuff that they have to go through, and then meeting the experts and meeting the casting directors and all that stuff, nobody asked what type of husband she wanted. If he wanted to be like, there was no question about being a homebody or adventurous or none of that. I can't see that being true. Like, and did she put down that she wanted someone to go on adventures with? As much as she says it, she has to have said that. And I think that they failed her with that. Like, he's not somebody that wants to do it. Like I said last week, he wants to stay home and have her pop out babies. She wants to go and experience the world and travel. I don't know how long their relationship is gonna work. They're gonna say yes, but I don't know how long this yes is gonna be in their spirit. Okay. So we see Jake and Haley, and Dr. Viviana gave them an exercise, or was it Dr. Pepper? One of them experts gave them an exercise and asked them to speak highly of each other. Like, write a letter and speak highly of each other. Don't say anything negative, because they only say negative stuff. So I was wondering how this was going to work out, and they actually did pretty well. Haley said, can you get 2 paragraphs out? Because I guess one sentence is not going to be like he's at one sentence. Ineffective communicator, because that's how he communicates, in one sentence, but has a lot of shit going on. Like, he's analyzing everything in his brain and only one sentence comes out, or a snarky ass remark. But anyway, Haley starts first, and she says that she likes that he's genuine, loyal, dedicated, a good dog dad, respectful, very nice, you know, accomplished. He says that he likes her drive and energy, her motivation, that she's loyal to family and friends, and she's inspiring. And Jake says, you know what? I understand that I've made some mistakes in this diary cam. He understands that he makes some mistakes, and for him, divorce equals failure for him. I wrote down, I hope he doesn't say yes, because ain't nothing about this seeming like a good matchup. When we see Ryan and Clara, they have to write a love letter to one another. Literally a love letter. Because she's been wanting him to say I love you and stuff. But a love letter. They play rock, paper, scissors, and he has to go first. And his letter just thanks her for being herself, for loving her, for loving. His letter is really just thanking her for being this magnificent person, you know, for loving him, and just a whole list of things that he's thanking her for. And then at the end says, love, Ryan. I was like, okay, there you go. There's the love. But again, she's like, I need him to say, I am in love with you. Okay. Her letters are always so transparent and vulnerable and raw and open. I didn't write down what she wrote, but I know that it was good. His brought her to tears, and hers brought her to tears too. She could use some counseling, because there's some things, you know, that she keeps bringing up about past relationships. They all can use some therapy about past relationships and how it feels good to feel safe and secure, and like he really wants her. One minute he wants her and one minute he don't. Let she tell it. Like, what? I don't know. Anyway, the ladies are sitting in there conversing. Haley shares with the ladies the conversation her and Jacob had out on the boat. Jake said that he felt like she was being smug and dismissive and mean earlier. And I wrote down, she wants them to agree with her wholeheartedly, like, oh no, he was the one in the wrong, when they both were wrong. And Virginia was like, well, I told you I thought you were being kind of mean. And then she came back and said, well, it was the both of us. It really was. You both were being very petty, very disrespectful, and pulling everyone into your mess and making it an awkward situation. Then Virginia shares her conversation with Eric, and this is when she talks about how they're now starting to deal with issues that they were putting off, and they're not coming to a happy medium or a good resolution. Bree talks about horseback riding, and she says that, you know, she's trying to help him be more comfortable, and wants him not to complain. Was that me or was that her? Like, you can't help him be comfortable. I mean, I don't know. You can offer the space for him, right? But if he ultimately doesn't want to do something, then girl, you ain't gonna be able to get him to do it. So ultimately, I don't know, child. I don't know about, they all doomed. And I'm really kind of over all of this. Clara shares that about the letters, and that she was emotional, and that she needs to be told that she's wanted, and that he finds her attractive. Her love language, one of the higher ones, is words of affirmation, right? And I'm all right. I'm all like, well, it's doing you a disservice sharing this with these women and not with him. You have to say, sometimes people, that's not his love language, right? Sometimes people need you to tell them what they want. Like, I need to be told that I'm appreciated or that you like me or whatever the case is. And she's not doing that. It wasn't what she was getting in her past relationships. And all I wrote was, okay, don't lean on him to heal. You have to do the work yourself to heal. That's why you want him to say, I love you, and to tell you all these affirming things, because you haven't healed from the way you were treated previously and you don't see value in yourself, like, at all. Bree asked Clara if they're in love, and she said, I think so. I think we're in love. Girl, it's an easy yes or no, or you know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. I know I'm in love with him. I don't know about him. I'm waiting on him to say it. So you see them now at the table because the crabs have been made, honey. And Ryan asks, have you guys started talking about post-decision day? Like what you're going to do, what your plans are. And Vincent says, yeah, we're going to move to my apartment. Honey, Brianna don't seem like she too happy about that. She cutting her eyes. I'm sure that his rent is probably cheaper than hers. She looks hella skeptical. Like, this is not a conversation that we had and you just opened your mouth and made this assumption. Like, that's how I felt the look was. Claire starts talking about they each have, her and Ryan have a top 5, like pieces of artwork that they can bring, and one is an absolute no, and her one that he doesn't want her to bring is the neon sign, honey. And you see Virginia saying, well, can I have it? And Jacob is looking like, y'all was all talking about my little neon signs, like, you know. And so she had one and you wanted Virginia? Like, okay, I'm with him, like, y'all, cause it's me. And Virginia says, yeah, listen, I'm not moving into his condo. I'm not gonna do it. In January, you know, my lease is up, so pretty much he's got 4 months to sell this place, rent it out, do something, but I'm not going to his condo. And Eric just says, you know what, I don't like it. I don't like it. Why doesn't she want to go? That's pretty much, we've had this conversation, y'all. You and I, we've had this conversation, but we get a little more into who Virginia is. She don't like him. She don't love him. She don't want to be with him. In his diary cam, he was like, I don't give ultimatums, and I don't like that she's giving me one with that. I need to figure it out in 4 months. And I'm all like, oh, the devil is a lie. You've been giving her ultimatums the whole time. We've been married at first sight. Because if she didn't have a baby, then you was out. If you don't not sleep at home, then I'm out. Everything is an ultimatum. But I also understand that he has made lots of concessions for her. Because remember, last week it was, well, when I'm not home, you can sleep out. Before it was, no, you need to come home every day. Like, so he's starting to make concessions for her because he wants to be with her. She doesn't like him. She doesn't want to be with him. But she's still going to say yes, right? Anyway. Claire asked her, well, why don't you want to move into the condo? Because for her, it's kind of weird. Like, this your husband and you going to be together, right? You're going to be together? So why wouldn't you? You know, she goes on to say it's the pet. Eric then shares, like, I mean, these conversations are conversations that really should not be had in public. Like, anything that turns into a back and forth or argument, I don't feel like we should be having it and discussing it in front of other people. But he was like, you don't know how to compromise. You don't know how to meet in the middle. I wrote down, she wants to be single but together. Like, I have a homeboy, this guy I used to date, and one of the things our running joke is because he said, yeah, I want to be together but single. I was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I want to be single but together. It means I want to go live my life and do whatever I want to do, and when we together, we together. Oh, hell, it sounds crazy, but okay, so you see them like have some kind of back and forth at the end of the table over there. I didn't write down, but it was a very much so. Everybody else was talking and was really doing their own thing, and then they were talking on the side. But listen, like I said, some conversations should just not be had in front of people, but maybe they were looking for allies. I don't know. Well, they get into bed and they having bed talks, pillow talks, okay? And we start talking about the cats because he ain't even met the cats because he's allergic to cats. She starts to say how the cats sleep in the bed. One is nestled in her bosom and one is on the side of her, and that's how they sleep. And they miss me. Like, and he was like, okay, but when we together, they can't sleep in the bed. Like, he's so allergic, but loves her, that he's all like, they can come in the room. No. So you telling me that you're okay with him being miserable with your cats roaming because you don't want to lock them up away in the room. You don't want to put them in the basement, in the other room, or whatever at Eric's house. You have no concession. You are actually very selfish and really just should be by yourself. Just forget it, Virginia, and be alone, okay? Being alone is not lonely. Be alone. It's okay to be by yourself because, baby, that is what you need to do. Because I'm going to just be honest. If she liked him, y'all think about it for a second. When you like somebody, you will make adjustments, compromise, make concessions, have great communication, trying to figure out how do we make this work. That is not what Virginia is doing. And I understand that she's immature and he's controlling, but I guarantee you if she really liked him, she would figure out what to do with them damn cats. I know y'all probably like cats. I'm not a cat person. She just wants him to deal with it, and it's just really selfish. So it's the last day and they are going to go home, right? Jacob is the first one up and he is out of there. He says not goodbye to anyone. He doesn't leave a note. He doesn't go knock on the door or Haley's door to be like, hey, Haley, I'm leaving. He doesn't say anything. He just leaves. Jacob, that's not what we do. Even if you don't ever talk to her again, ever see her again, don't like her, nothing, you still want to tell people that you are leaving. You tell your friend, your wife, she's still your wife, excuse me. You tell your wife, I'm leaving now, Haley. It's like a crack of dawn. I'm leaving. Maybe he has to go to work. Who knows? But say something. You know, he'll probably say he didn't want to wake her up. He could have left her a little note. He could have told her the night before, I'm going to leave early. But I really feel like he's in the wrong. He should not have left. No matter what their relationship is like, he should not have left without telling those people goodbye. He did a Brandon. I wrote down for Eric and Virginia, I wrote it down again. She don't like him and she doesn't want to be with him. I don't even know what she said or did that made me feel like that. Brianna and Vincent, she's waking him up. Wake up, wake up. It's like the bratty little sister that bothers you that wants to come wake you up so you can go eat breakfast with them. Like, it's horrible. So when she wakes him up and he looks groggy, like, why in the hell did you wake me up and didn't let me wake up on my own? You see that she's not happy with the fact that he's saying that they're gonna move in. And she was like, oh, you're so sure of yourself. Like, is that how they're gonna have that conversation and resolve it? I don't think that that's a good idea. Like, she needs to express that maybe that's not what she wants to do, because she said that she has a 2-bedroom, he has a 1-bedroom. How are they gonna make it in that space? You guys have to have room to walk away. Whose house is more square footage? Where does it make more sense? Like, all of that. And she needs to have that conversation instead of just saying, taking offense to it. You know what I'm saying? She told him because, you know, they on the same level and everything. So evidently he's making pretty good money, right? But, you know, she's got that whole, we're equals, okay? Like, which is fine, y'all. She's got that whole, not the, probably that wasn't the right word, but she's got that whole, you ain't running shit. Like, I could do it, been doing it by myself. I can continue to do it by myself. I don't need you kind of attitude versus having the conversation, right? You can be all of those things and you can share your thoughts and ideas with your husband. You guys can set ground rules about how things are going to operate for your household. You can talk about all this stuff. Don't just get offensive and then clam up, and because it almost felt like to me, well, I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I also did not like him if they hadn't had a conversation about it. Let me say that, because we don't know if they've had previous conversations about it. But if they've never had a conversation about it, I don't like that he went ahead and made that judgment call. Ryan and Clara, Ryan feels like she has met her prince, honey, that she's kissed enough frogs and she's finally met her prince. She feels like he does love her, but she wants him to be in love with her. That's the end of this whole episode. This whole silly ass retreat ass episode. Like, oh God, that's the end of this episode. That's the end of this entire silliness that we watched for 2 hours, an hour and a half with commercials. Listen, let me know down below in the comments what you think about this episode. Who's right? Who's wrong? Are they all wrong? Like, I feel like the way each of them communicate with one another is unhealthy. It's toxic. And then having these conversations, these difficult conversations in front of other people is also very toxic and makes people uncomfortable. Now I'm in your business and I'm gonna be talking about you behind your back when I'm in the bed with my husband. Like, that's exactly what's happening, y'all. I'm just saying it is. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Give me something. Tell me something, anything, because I feel like I didn't give y'all enough. Thank you so much for watching my review of season 12, episode number 15. If it's your first time visiting my channel, click the subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine. That notification bell should be hit and it should say all. Go ahead and hit the like button because you like me and I know it's real, and then share it with everybody. Let them know to come over here and have conversations with us. I do my very best to answer, to reply to all of your comments. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't, but we'll try again this week. I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.